Lynn Eicholt virtually, Isabella Santagruel, Austin Higgins, and Martin Zabel. Also with us are Building Commissioner Tom Evers and Board Secretary Jennifer Higgins, also with us virtually. The first item of business tonight is the review of the minutes of September 6 and September 20 of 2023. Are there any questions or comments or concerns about those minutes? Do I have a motion? I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, all right. I first have a new business, which is a continuation from our last meeting of September 20th of case 2210 JP Construction has applied for a special permit as set forth in Mass General Laws 48, Section 9, and the Orleans zoning bylaw sections 164.31 and 164.44. Is Mr. What's his name here? What was the lawyer's name there last week?
Donahue, I believe.
Yeah, Donahue. Mr. Donahue out there? Peggy, is Mr. Donahue in attendance?
I don't see a Donahue.
Is there anyone here to present for the applicant? They went to all that work of submitting a...
There's no hands raised.
All right. Well, why don't we put that off until the end of the meeting? We'll get back to that. We'll ask again if he's here. Okay. Well, the second item of business is case number 2210. Mark and Jennifer Herman have applied for a special permit as set forth in Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 6, under Orleans zoning bylaw, Section 164.3C, 1B, and 164.21C, 164.43, and Section 164.44. Mr. Little, please.
Good evening, everybody. David Little from Ryder and Wilcox, representing Mark and Jen Herman. So I provided you with a set of revised plans and site plan and building plans last week because the scope of the project changed slightly. We are now no longer expanding the footprint of the dwelling. We're just proposing to the horizontal footprint of the dwelling. We're now just proposing to expand the roof area on the second floor to essentially create a larger bathroom and a larger master bedroom. So I provided you with the plans from the architect. The site plan that I provided hatches the area where the roof will be going up. The roof of the house, it's contemporary. The height will not increase. We're maintaining the existing highest ridge elevations, so we're not increasing that. Nor are we increasing the building coverage. The total building coverage for the site is 3,628, which is approximately 6.32% of the buildable upland on the site. We're here because of Section 164.21C, the setback from the top of the coastal bank. When the town adopted this, it requires that when you, today, if you were to construct a new dwelling, you're required to be set back 1.5 times its height. So for instance, if you, in Orleans, the maximum height of a dwelling is 30 feet. So if you were on a coastal bank or in the buffer zone to a coastal bank, if you were to construct a house 30 feet tall, you'd have to be set back 45 feet, 1.5 times that height. So in our situation, the house is on a coastal bank. So we have 0 setback. It's a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, and we have filed a special permit for expanding it. We submitted an administrative review to the Conservation Commission. Because of our location, they signed off on that, so we have Conservation Commission sign off on it. Because there was no alteration horizontally to the structure, they allowed it with an administrative review. So with respect to the special permit criteria, the site, the 2.1 acre site is adequate for the proposed renovation. We believe the site is suitable for the expansion. The continued residential use of the property in a residential district is appropriate. There will be no change on traffic flow or safety. The proposed project will have no new negative impact on the visual character in the neighborhood. The property is served by a Title V septic system, and there are no stormwater drainage issues on the site. The adequacy of utilities and public services will not be changed or impacted by the project. And we propose to keep a dumpster on site during construction to contain all construction debris, and any noise would only be temporary noise impacts during construction. And as to the impact of groundwater quality, recharge volume, and water quality of coastal and freshwater bodies, a few years ago, I worked with the Hermans to renovate the existing dwelling, the pool, the decking, and everything. It was a big project that went before the Conservation Commission, including the existing garage, and that was approved and signed off on, so I think we're not going to impact any of the valuable resources in Section 8. So I'll open it up to questions from the board. That would be my presentation. I think it's a fairly straightforward project.
Are there any questions?
So you're not adding a bedroom, you're making
No.
more space in an existing
Yes, we're exactly,
bathroom.
we're making a much larger master bedroom. I'm not supposed to use that term anymore. A
Yes.
much larger
The owner's
Primary
room.
primary bed.
Correct.
So building height's 34.2, but that's remaining as is. It's not extending past the.
Exactly,
existing.
we're maintaining that height. Yes.
Yeah, so the peak on the right will match the peak on the left.
Exactly.
Is there anyone in attendance who wishes to speak in favor or in opposition to the application? Is there anyone out in the audience, Peggy?
No hands raised.
No hands raised. All right. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a
Motion to
motion.
approve.
Motion to approve, Austin. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go through the roll with the hybrid, I don't know if you have to, but, Lynn,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Austin,
Yes.
Sibel?
Yes.
I'm also yes, 5-0. You have your special permit, David.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is it really 0 feet? I haven't seen the property up close. I've just seen it from the oversend.
So the, what's interesting is that the deck is included with the coastal setback calculation.
I did see it was really.
And the coastal bank actually goes under the deck. So there is a 0-foot setback to the coastal bank. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good.
Okay. The next application for our consideration is the application of case 2212. John Woodman has applied for a special permit as set forth in the Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 6, under the Orleans zoning bylaw, Section 164-3C1B and 164-21 and 164-44. Is there someone here to make the presentation?
Yes, I just let him in.
Okay, thanks. Who's making the presentation, please?
Good evening. We do have another person joining us, but he has to join as a panelist.
Okay.
Tim Santos, is he present, Lynn?
Could you identify yourself, please, first?
I'm sorry, my name is Christine Monahan. I'm an architect representing John Woodman.
And your firm, please, Ms. Monahan? Are you?
Christine, my firm is Christine Monahan, Architecture and Planning.
Okay. Are you, yeah, here we go, I got you. Yeah, you're on the plans, Ms. Monahan. And who are we waiting for?
And it looks like Tim's here.
For the record, Tim Santos from Merrill Engineers and Land Surveyors, representing the applicant. We did the field survey and prepared the site plans.
Welcome back, Mr. Santos.
Good to see you again.
All right, Ms. Monahan, do you want to proceed?
Sure. I believe you should be looking at the plans.
Yeah.
Am I able to share my screen? Or,
Yes, you are.
okay, let's just see if I can get here. I apologize, I'm just trying to get to the right drawing here. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up your site plan, Tim.
Yeah, I can walk them through the existing and proposed if you want, and then you can go through architecturals.
Sure, okay. So, I actually highlighted the existing building or footprint, so it was easy for everyone to understand. So, can everyone see the screen okay? And Tim, can you see everything okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So go ahead.
As it was stated, property is located at 27 Gibson Road. Currently, it exists with an existing single-family home, cottage, and shed. The existing property is pre-existing non-conforming. The existing dwelling meets the front setback at 39.6, but the side setback of the existing dwelling is 9.2 feet. And the cottage to the rear is also met at 41, and the existing shed is 8.3 feet to the side. So the applicant has recently purchased the property. He's looking to tear down the existing home, shed, cottage, construct a new house, pool and pool house. In doing so, we're looking to slide the existing structure back from the 39.6 feet to the 57.2. The rear pool house cabana rear setback will be 28.2 feet, still meeting the 25. And we're looking to maintain the existing, I believe that's, hold on one second, that's the northern setback of 9.2 feet, the nonconformity. We're looking to maintain that. There's an existing 3-bedroom septic, which is cesspools on the site, and we're proposing to put in a Title V septic system. The site will be serviced by town water and utilities. As far as lot coverage goes, it currently exists at 9.3 feet, and we're going to be increasing to 9.3%, and we're going to be increasing to 14.3%, still under the 15% allowed by the zoning bylaw. And we also provided some calculations on the plan for the height of the structure. The existing average grade is 44.1 along the face of the building. If you add the 30 feet that's allowed by zoning, you can go up to 74.1 elevation, and our proposed peak on the architecturals is 72.1, so we're about 2 feet below that. Now, I believe this meets your performance standards in order to issue a special permit. We'll turn it over to Christine so she can kind of run through some architecturals with you, and then I'd be more than happy to address any questions you might have.
Thank you, Tim. I would just add to that, that the existing, the frontage of this property is fairly narrow, and the existing home is roughly 38 feet wide, and the proposed home is also 38 feet wide. So we're not proposing to increase the width of the home, nor are we looking to increase any additional bedrooms for this property. So I'll just go into architectural. I'll go fairly quickly, as I know time is valuable here. I'm just going to go right to elevations, so give me just a minute. Okay, so this is exterior elevations facing the street where we have a wraparound farmer's porch. We felt it was really important to keep these roof lines nice and low to blend in with the Cape Cod architecture and really blend in with this neighborhood with these roof lines to keep this quaint and small and compact. We have a mix of materials of shingle, asphalt shingles, some stone, and some nice white columns that will be at the front of the home, as well as natural wood doorways. So this is the side profile. This would be the elevation that would be facing the abutter to the west. This would be the elevation that is at that 9.2 setback that we're looking to grandfather in this plane. And again, it was important to kind of taper the roof lines back so it was not invasive on the neighbor. And this is the other east elevation where you can see the entrance to the house and the side leading to the back. Some just extra details here that share some of the architectural elements. And then in the rear, we do have a pool house that is very similar to the construction of the main house. The first floor is meant for a bit of entertainment with a TV and a little bar and a toilet room and outdoor shower. And the second level is dedicated to all the storage that's going to be needed for the pool. So this is a rendering that really helps illustrate this a little further. Again, this is the street, Gibson Road, and we have a U-shaped driveway and then an additional driveway that's tucked towards the back where the pool will be. And I will stop there and open it up for any questions.
Ms. Monahan, what are you calculating the square footage of coverage to be? You gave us a
Square footage,
percent.
the coverage, the lot coverage is, I believe, is 14.6, but let me double check what we have here.
Yeah.
No,
That's
you
what you
have that, but so you're saying it's 2,384 square feet?
Yeah, it's 2,336 square feet.
2,336.
It's going from 1519 to 2,336.
Does the pool house count in
The
coverage?
pool
The
house,
pool house, yes.
the main house, anything that's roofed.
Right, so.
That's
so
in your
it's
calculation.
That
It's
is
also
correct.
including the
Okay.
farmer's porch, anything that's covered. So we did include the farmer's porch as part of that calculation.
Okay.
Well,
I have a question on setbacks. I hadn't really thought about it until I saw this nice red box around the setback. Is there any requirement for pools setback? I couldn't find anything.
It's 10 feet.
10?
Setback for pools is 10 feet.
Perfect.
To the coping, edge of the water.
Yeah, that looks like it's easily there.
yeah, 20.
Yeah, we have it shown on our plan,
20
I
and
believe
20.
it's 19 for the coping.
Okay.
That's right.
Great.
You know, Tim, just going forward, on page 6 of our application, we like both square footage and percentage. Make sure they match. We
Okay,
sometimes
we'll
find,
make sure we add it, we'll get it added to the plan next time too.
yeah, we find sometimes that people's math doesn't always work out.
Funny math?
Funny math, they don't have the benefit of a nice scientific calculator.
Not a problem.
Okay. Other questions of the board? Lynn, anything? I can't see you anymore. Okay, is there anyone in attendance who wishes to speak in opposition or in favor of the application?
No hands raised?
No hands raised. All right. What's your pleasure?
Thank you for your time.
Well, wait, we haven't voted yet. Oh, you're welcome. Shouldn't thank us yet. You haven't got
Same
your vote.
anyways.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Second, all right. All right, let me call the roll. Lynn,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Austin,
Yes.
Sibel?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. You have your special permit, 5-0.
Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
Good evening.
Thank you, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Okay, now, let's return back to the first item of business, the application of JP Construction. Is there anyone here representing JP Construction now, Peggy?
Yes, there is. Just let him in.
Okay. Mr. Donahue, welcome back. Albeit tardily. Mr. Donahue, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Sorry, I missed first call. My apologies.
All right. You submitted very adequate supplemental information. Wasn't too difficult, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't
And
it?
I appreciate the time, allowing me the time to complete that.
Yeah, all right. I actually think you understated your case in that the addition of three new units does help meet a housing need in the community. You only referred to the first, so you shortchanged your argument. It's even stronger.
I wanted to clarify something in the supplemental information I had submitted
Yep.
in connection with the criteria regarding 164-31. In paragraph number 1, I responded that the proposal is for 3 new one-bedroom apartments, and it's my misreading of the floor plans. There are three apartments proposed for the first floor. One of those apartments is going to be extended down into the basement. So they have a bedroom in the basement level, along with the bedroom upstairs on the first floor. So that actually is a 2-bedroom apartment. I wanted to bring that to your attention because the information I placed, included in my response, is not accurate.
Well, is that,
And also-
Could I just ask a quick question about that?
Yeah.
I got confused when I read it and thought you were talking about 2 apartments downstairs and 3 upstairs, but you're not. You're talking about the one that exists downstairs
That's
and
correct.
3 upstairs and one of them's up and down, right?
Yes, and you know what probably threw you off is I also included information. I said that the proposal included 1 new bedroom apartment in the basement, which isn't true. So if I could scratch that, if you'd like, I can rewrite that paragraph and submit it to the board.
It sounded
So-
like you were doing 5 units, 5 apartments.
And that's,
Yeah.
it's wrong. So my apology, that was my mistake.
is the unit that goes down to the basement, is that 2 bedrooms?
One of the units, it's going to extend, the 3 new apartments on the first floor, one of which is going to utilize the basement area, which will be a basement in that apartment in the basement. You understand what I mean?
I do, but is that going to be 2 bedrooms? What's in the
Yes.
basement?
Correct.
So there's going to be, at the end of the day, there's going to be 3 one-bedroom apartments and 1 two-bedroom apartment. For
Correct.
four apartments in total, 3 one-bedrooms and 1 two-bedroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Which one will be the affordable housing unit?
The existing bedroom, I'm sorry, the existing apartment in the basement.
Okay.
What is the square footage of the other 3, and what sort of range will they rent for, roughly?
I don't know, is Mr. Juan Perez on the screen?
He's not.
I'd be taking a guess, in
Okay.
terms of the rental amount per month, I just don't know.
Yeah, I just wondered, are these relatively small units? I don't read the architectural drawings very well, at like 900 square feet, 800 square feet, so I presume that the rent would be commensurate. I just wondered.
I would assume that as well, but I don't have a response to that. I do have, I know that there was a discussion when we last met about the area of the lot itself. If you may remember, there was two figures, if you will, two numbers that were presented, one in the site plan and the other in the deed. I reached out to the surveyor who did the site plan, and he informed me that he had calculated based on the meets and bounds as presented in the plan that's referenced in the deed itself, which is recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
Okay. All right, other questions of Mr. Donahue? So you have to have the second bedroom add to a parking requirement.
Yeah, but I think in site plan review, we determined that they had,
The parking lot's very.
they had enough
Parking.
parking.
Okay.
And I forgot to mention earlier, I am in the butter, so I will be recusing. from
Yeah,
this.
all right, so there's only four members voting on this tonight.
So I take it their plan met all the fire codes for apartments
They
and,
need to sprinkle the building.
okay.
I put in the, with the supplemental information that I submitted, I'm not sure what it is, site plan review committee from July 5th, what was taken to approve, which was allowed 5-0. The motion passed unanimously to approve the proposal.
Okay. All right.
That was subject to compliance with the water department on fire sprinkler requirements, which the developer will work with the water department in connection with those requirements.
All right, any, just going over my notes here. Anyone have any questions, other questions? Just want to see, what the, okay, is there anyone in attendance, either here in the room or virtually, who wishes to speak in favor or opposition to the application?
No answers?
Mr. Chairman, one other thing, that there was a question about whether or not Old Tote Road was a private way.
Yes.
It is a private road.
I went there on site and assumed it was a private road. Just want to do the,
That doesn't change any of the zoning
No.
issues of the
No, no.
building, right? And that's,
Well, it was just, that question was presented at the last time we met, so I just wanted to respond.
yeah. Do we know if the town is gonna run the sewer line up that way, even though it's a private road?
It's already there. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
They did, so they did, okay.
That part's already in.
Okay, so they did.
okay. Anyone
I'm not
else?
sure how
ready?
far it went up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know how far it went up Old Tote, but.
Way on the way.
Any other
You can
questions?
see the other side of Old Toad. Dirt road.
Well, I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. We call the roll. Lynn?
Yes, but I just want to say, I would, when we're talking about workforce housing, just appreciate sort of a square footage and a rental range, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing, given the size and nature of this, that it is, so yes.
The zoning board of appeal has no ability to suspend the market forces. And I think market forces will keep these units affordable. I think we can rely on that. All right. Martin,
Yes.
Austin.
I recuse.
Oh, you're recused, I'm sorry, yeah. Sibel?
Yes.
I'm also yes. So you have your special permit 4-0, Mr. Donahue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board. Appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.
Good
Have a
night.
good evening. Bye now.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Tom.
Everybody have a nice night.
Yeah, thank you.
See you, Tom.
Thanks. The issue was before we were discussing.
Now that the vote is in, you live on Old Top Road, correct?
Yes, we do, we live next door.
Now that the vote is in, are you pleased or not? You didn't say anything.
No,
No.
we raised our concerns last
Yeah.
week and last time we met. No, we just want to be informed.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The road already has a lot of ventures on it already.
There might be less traffic now. Wasn't there a lot of traffic with the businesses in that building?
There's always, oh, in that building? No.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't. It
wasn't too bad.
HPC wasn't ever too, I live in the Locust Hills
Yeah.
right around the
And
city.
we weren't there on the weekend.
Hmm.
Sorry, folks, did you move to adjourn?
Yeah, we'll move to adjourn.
No, I just wasn't sure if I heard it or not, sorry, I got confused.
No, I just wanted to talk a little bit about site visits. You know, I think it's very important we have site visits and you go to see all these things. We could try to do them as a group, if that interests anybody. I think it might be hard to schedule that.
It's not going to work in the winter for you, is it?
It's not going to work in the winter for me or for Lynn. It's not going to work for, during the week, for those who work, I suppose, so we're talking about weekends. But, you know, the cases that we had today, the one today in Windswept and the one last time, I went back to that one last time, last week. And I don't know what they're going to come back with, so it'll be interesting to see. But if you haven't seen that, if you have not seen that house and that lot, you should go see it. Because
Is
it's
this, sorry, Nauset Road?
Nauset Road, yeah. Because you can't envision the constraints. You know, one of the things that, well, I don't want to re-argue the case, because it's still before us, frankly. It hasn't been, it's been continued. But I think it behooves, before they come back, every one of us should have gone to see that. Because
I have.
generally, 90% of the cases we have, you can, the plot plan's enough, and you know the neighborhood generally. But every once in a while, a small number, in the course of my time on the board, there's some that you really can't understand because the lot's so unusual and the neighborhood's so unusual, and this one falls into that category.
That's what I call it, the Dutton house, that old 1794.
Yeah.
It was a good application, I just couldn't picture what the property actually looked like.
Yeah, and that was intimidating going down there.
Yes.
Some of the places are very intimidating. There was one too we had with also in Nauset there, the guy who just wanted to extend his porch, and that was a disaster
Oh, yeah.
lot, and you couldn't understand that if you hadn't gone to see it.
I have a question. So if we went individually, and I know we're really supposed to conduct business here and not have a bunch of side conversations, right?
Right.
Can if somebody has a question or comment, can that be made through our emails, or we really can't discuss anything outside of here?
Well, that's a good point, because I had that same question years ago, and it was basically told you're better off not to do it at all. Whether it meets the law or not, everybody's very particular about that law, you know. I think it's dysfunctional, frankly. But I engaged in a discussion with the chairman previously, and then it was decided that I shouldn't do that. I should bring it all out here in the open meeting.
Well, I'm not saying make comments about.
No. Yeah, if it's
But
just,
a
just
question,
asking questions, yeah, I think it's okay if you just ask questions, as long as we're not commenting. Likewise, if you go and you talk to the homeowner, you're free to ask questions of the homeowner too, you know. I think that helps sometimes, you know. So, and I should tell you that I have been working on the new application.
Oh.
And I have the application's pretty easy. It's just all the requirements that we have to make sure I've gotten all those. And I would put those in a separate, you know. The application is only 2 pages. It only has to be 2 pages here. We need to boil it all down. And then also to ask for a narrative. So I hope you get that to you for the next meeting.
Okay.
We can talk about it.
I will not be here on the 18th.
Okay. Well, I'll get it virtually, I'll do it. I'll figure out how to put those things into the internet.
I'll be in New
Unlike my
Mexico.
you'll be in Mexico?
Yes, I'll be in New Mexico without any technology.
Oh.
Other than my phone, which I don't think that works very well for.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn, let
Yes.
Peggy go.
Motion to adjourn.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good night, Lance.